Good morning, gamers. I would do from the ceiling, but I can't fly. How is everybody doing today? Today, we're doing more of that good old gaming news. So, it's been a week. We've got more great news and bad news. Might just be bad news. Actually, no, there's some good news. To start it off, we've got the Nintendo Switch Lite confirmed to have smaller battery than the original model. So for those of you that don't know, the Nintendo Lite is a new gaming console that they're coming out with, which this one can only be played in the handheld mode, which is the old one you could plug into the TV and play it on the TV. This one's just handheld, which honestly, I kind of like the handheld. Playing it handheld a lot better than actually playing it on a screen for some reason. I just like it a lot more. What they were saying is they were hoping to increase the battery life from 2.5 to 6.5. Well, no, right now it's 2.5 to 6.5 hours. They wanted to add another half hour to it so it could last 3 to 7 hours. The only issue is they've actually made the battery smaller. It's a 3.6 watt compared to a 16 watt. So that means it's not going to last as long. But the only thing that goes into that is with the Nintendo Switch Lite, it actually has a smaller screen display, and you don't have to charge the detachable Joy-Cons because they stay on the thing, obviously, because you don't play handheld. So that does mean that there's less power that you need to do with that whole thing. So really, I guess it will end up being longer. It just, because of the demands of the system, it's not going to need as much power. Therefore, you'll have more power. Great news. Great news. Respawn, you might know them as the people from Apex Legends. They are teasing a new Apex Legends character that could be arriving soon. Now, I don't play a whole lot of Apex Legends. I thought about playing a lot more, actually. But yeah, they're planning on releasing a new character. That's always fun, new characters and stuff. Their last character was, he likes to go fast, not Sonic. What's his name? I don't remember his name. He's the guy that with like the jump boosts and everything. So they're saying that there's a lot of signs and teasers and stuff pointing at a new hacking specialist, and their name is going to be Crypto. So yeah, there's obviously going to be some hacking abilities. They're comparing the hacking abilities to Sombra and Overwatch, which is what I immediately thought of as soon as they started talking about a hacking specialist. But some of the clues that they found is a laptop appeared in, what is it, Kings Canyon? They found like a laptop, yeah, in Kings Canyon, which is obviously Crypto's laptop. They've had the like actor or whatever, the person who's playing Crypto, actually in the studio recording stuff. And when fans were like saying like, well, they said that it was like Apex Legends stuff, and now fans are like, oh my god, are you Crypto? Are you Crypto? Are you Crypto? Yes, he's probably Crypto. Next in the news. So this one is one that I found interesting. Bleats devs reveal threats of violence and racist abuse following Epic Store announcement. They obviously, Bleats, they decided that they wanted to go with the Epic Games Store. That's obviously being made a big deal about. It's not that massive of a deal, I don't think. But some people obviously had their own opinions about it. Yikes. So yeah, they were saying that in their like Discord channel and everything, lots of people were complaining and angry about this decision so much that like the developers were having to warn about screenshots of them apparently saying things they didn't. And it's just stupid, because you know that like obviously there's probably a large portion of them that don't really care or have no opinion really, or they might care but they're not going to do anything about it. Then you've got that small percentage and they're just like immediately hating. So obviously, please don't attack developers and say all these things, guys. Please don't. Yeah, there's a fake screenshot of him saying gamers would be better off in the gas chambers. And then he says, obviously I never said that. As a Jewish person, this one really hurt to be seeing spread around. a developer would never say that to the people that they're selling a game to. Like, come on. Why? Why do you do this? But yeah, the developers are still saying they made the right call, that everything's alright and everything, that it hasn't changed anything. It's just that they're getting a lot of threats and hate for making this one decision. And honestly, it's their decision. They should be able to make that decision. They made the game and everything. If you're angry with it, don't play the game. If you don't like it, just don't play. But if you like the game that much, if you like the developers, just keep on supporting the game and keep playing. If it's that big of a deal that it's going to be on the Epic Games Store, whatever the situation is with it, yeah, they were saying that supporters, because they have a Patreon, they were saying that supporters felt like they were being ripped off or whatever because of this whole thing, but there's not a free copy to anybody who supports anyways. So they're still kind of just like, it's just turned into like a bit of a PR nightmare thing of just a pain in the butt. GTA 6. GTA. Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, Grand Theft Auto 5 was obviously really, really big. I think we talked about it before, of how it made a lot of money and was really, really big. And, well, they're talking about delaying the next Grand Theft Auto 6, not 5. 5 already happened. They're thinking about delaying Grand Theft Auto 6. So there's a lot of rumors going around about GTA 6 right now. One of the big rumors is that it'll be coming out in 2020 as like a PlayStation 5 exclusive thing. I don't think it's exclusive. I don't know, it might be exclusive, but it's basically coming out around the same time as PS5, and it's going to be this next-gen console thing, kind of like this last one was, where it didn't come out until like the Xbox Ones on PlayStation 4 and everything. No, it did come out before that. It did come out before that, but then they ended up doing another version for the next-gen consoles and everything. I don't know, there's always this big talk of like next-gen consoles. It doesn't really matter a whole lot, guys. It just means they can make like a bigger world and do this, and it's not a whole lot of game-changing details. Honestly, maybe the quality is improved, but that could also be because, I don't know, game developers are trying to make better and better games and competing with each other. Like, I don't think next-gen consoles are as massive of a deal as they are always put at. But they're saying that the next GTA 6, or the GTA 6 game, would most likely be taking place in the 80s in Vice City. Yay! But yeah, it's gotten delayed, so sucks for now, but you can stick to GTA 5. They're still updating it, so you've got plenty to do until then. Speaking of Rockstar Games, we've got a fix to a controversy. So this is a few months after they had a labor controversy. They converted their game testers to full-time. Basically, they had their game testers as like temporary workers and everything, and it became this huge controversy, and now they're made into full-time and contract workers. But one of the quotes that was made is, "A large amount of staff are on a rolling temporary contracts and live in the hope that they will be extended and able to pay rent as the end of their contract approaches," said one current tester. "I don't feel like anyone is comfortable speaking out in the hopes that they will be extended long enough to be made permanent. Staff are often reminded how lucky they are simply working for Rockstar." I mean, they are lucky, but at the same time, that's a really sad thing to put out there. Basically, what they've done is they're putting them on like a temporary work thing, so a lot of them are just kind of like, am I going to be able to get another contract? Is this going to happen? Or am I not going to be able to like pay for rent and everything? Are they just going to drop me at any time? And a lot of people hope to end up working permanently there or whatever, but they're afraid. It sounds like Rockstar's making a couple changes. They're adding something called flex time, where they're able to shift around their work hours and everything. And a lot of news sources and everything are bringing more attention to this stuff, so we'll see a lot more changes in this stuff, because normally gaming news is nothing like this, except for the fact that, like, we talked about it last time and now. But yeah, so Rockstar Games is trying to do better. Rocket League. Rocket League is getting rid of loot boxes. So loot boxes have actually become quite a thing, quite a topic to talk about. A lot of people think they're like unethical and they promote gambling and stuff, because you can pay to buy loot boxes and then you get a guess at what's in them. With Rocket League, it's a bit different. You get a loot box and then you have to buy a key to open it. So you end up in this position of, I've got a loot box and I can't open it because I'd have to pay for it. But they're talking about removing the loot box system. They've actually added a battle pass kind of thing, which I didn't actually know, apparently last October, where you can work and grind and get stuff. So the big problem, one of the big problems they had with loot boxes is that, so originally it was an idea that was actually made to fund their esports league, which it worked and everything, and that appeared in 2016 when it began the funding and everything. Like, they were able to do that. But the big problem became, and I've seen this happen before, is like people will start using the black market forces or whatever. They'll try and like sell their loot boxes, everything, and then it becomes even more like gambling. One of the ideas that they're thinking will change is similar to what happened in Fortnite. A lot of people are following Fortnite's footsteps, I guess. With the V-Buck llamas, they now changed to X-ray llamas, so you can see what you're going to get inside of them. They're saying that it's probably going to be a similar system in Rocket League, where you see what's inside of the loot box before you open it, so that way you know what you're actually getting, rather than just 100% guess and everything, which is kind of a nice idea and everything. But I also kind of like the thing of like surprise and everything, but they don't want to make it seem like gambling. Next, news. And our final piece in the news today is about an online feud killing a gaming oddity people had waited 21 years for. So imagine you wait 21 years to play this game and it's just gone. I read the article. It's basically, let me see if I can find the game. It's called Mishima Falls or something like that. It's basically a game that was made in Japan. It was one of the first open world games, which it came 3 years before Grand Theft Auto 3, which made open world like the thing it is. It's its own genre in a way of just open world. But it was like fairly popular and everything. But the issue was that it never had it so you could change like the language or whatever, so that you can play it in your own language, like in English. So it became like this big thing, and apparently someone was making a patch to actually play this game in English, and they were almost done and everything, and then someone else took the code and everything that they posted online and finished it up and just gave it to people. And the person who originally started it didn't like it because they said it was in a broken and incomplete state. But like, he also took forever and posted it online. One of the issues they talk about with this is that sometimes for games it can be confusing as to who owns it, and the idea of making like translations for the games. So like when you have one game, you might make it in English, and then you can go and make it in like Japanese or Spanish or whatever else, and then you can sell it like that. Or what you can do is you can change, but ignore what I said, or what you can do. Basically, the big struggle became of like who really owns the game and everything. Do they have enough money to actually make it? Is it worth doing this? Are they going to make any money off of it and everything? And they just never ended up doing it with Mishima Falls. Apparently the person who was making the code for the English version was named Gemini, and they said it was too complicated and complex for them to figure out how to do all the coding and everything, that it was just going to take way too long to get through. And they published some of the code. So this is a little feud between Gemini and Star Player. And what happened is Gemini released the coding online with some of the patches that Gemini had made. I don't know if Gemini is a guy or a girl, so I'm just saying they. Gemini released these patches with some of the patches that they made, and they basically said they can pick up where they left off and everything and use this coding to help them, to help someone else make the rest of it, because they said it was taking too much time. Star Player basically took that code and, as this article explains, wrapped some duct tape around it, just made a couple little tweaks and everything, and then just like threw it out there and let it go out. And so people could play an English version, but it was not completed. It was broken and everything. It's a fly. It was broken and everything. It didn't really work. And he basically just took his work and said, here you go, I finished it for you. And he didn't. So yeah, that's all we have in the news for gaming today. This is actually a longer recording than usual, I think, because I had to actually read through and like figure everything out that I was gonna say. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.